Hello, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for the Vampire Diaries, Season 5, Episode 8, Dead Men on Campus. I'm your host, Dom, and with me I have Mike.
Hello.
How's it going?
Well, good. Episode 8 already. We're a third of the way through the season.
We are, and we're like 3 episodes away from the 100th episode. Or is it 2? I don't even know. We're close. Very, very close. We do have some, just real quick, spoiler. We do have one confirmed character that will be reappearing on the 100th episode. Do you care to know?
I forgot.
No, you couldn't forget. You didn't know in the first place.
Who is it?
Do you care to know who? So apparently you do.
I care.
Could be a certain legal guardian of Elena and Jeremy.
Really? Now, is this going to be just like a special, hey, it's the 100th episode, we're bringing this character back for one episode,
Jenna
and then he's
will
dead.
be back. Jenna will be back. We don't know in what capacity. They said they have something special planned for the 100th, but they are very tight-lipped on it. They're not saying.
I wonder what they're going to do, how they're going to do that one.
But with Bonnie being the anchor to the other side, she could see all the other supernatural beings. My problem is Jenna was not a supernatural creature.
Ooh. Been a while since season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't she, when she died, I mean, Klaus killed her, but wasn't she, like, transitioning to a vampire or something? Didn't she just transition to a vampire?
Oof, it's been a while now.
I don't remember, but I could have sworn there was something like that going on there.
I don't think she did. I could be completely mistaken. It's been, as you said, a very long time since season 2. So, I don't quite remember now. Now, I was gonna say no, absolutely not, but now you really got me thinking.
Yeah,
I know she didn't complete the transformation. If she did, but yeah, I don't know.
That's my, yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you watching, why don't you let us know? I'm sure one of you out there knows.
Somebody's got to know.
Leave us a comment, and we'll figure it out.
If you don't know, then you.
Then you're in the same boat as us, so it doesn't really matter.
And then we're all in a boat together.
That we are. We're on a boat. So, we finally learned what the damn dagger was for, and it's not what we thought it was at all. We thought it was either the anchor to the other side, we thought it was something for killing Silas. But apparently, the dagger is revealed to be the only weapon that can kill a traveler. So, my question to you, Mike, is why do you think they kept this on them instead of just putting it in a place that was less accessible?
Well, it was the only weapon that could kill a traveler. Now, wasn't it revealed that before he was his crazy self that Silas was a traveler?
No, I don't believe so. He was a witch. He hung out with travelers.
I know he was a witch, and I know he hung out with travelers, but I thought he was a traveler himself. Something he mentioned at the beginning of the season. Huh.
I don't remember that. Not dismissing it, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. I don't know. But, yeah, but that would be my thought, is why keep the knife on you at that point if it's the only thing that could kill you? You know, it's like, whatchamacallit? It's like Once Upon a Time. It's the Dark One carrying around his own dagger. Why the hell are you going to keep that thing on you?
That would be like Elijah walking around with a white oak stake on him at all times.
Exactly. I mean, someone could steal it from you and jab it in you.
It just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. What do you think Gregor's logic with that was?
He's a crazy Eastern European.
Yeah, I guess.
Honestly, I don't know his logic behind that. Maybe he had some other plans with the whole shebang, the thing. Maybe he thought other travelers would get in his way somehow. He would need to off them.
Yeah, I don't know. But it was revealed that Catherine's father, Nadia's grandfather, was a traveler.
Mm.
So do you think he's still around and possibly hitching a ride on someone else?
Um, do I think? I mean, realistically, I'm going to say no. But with this show, you never know. They always bring these characters in for dramatic effect. So it's possible he's hitching a ride somewhere around the world and some guy or lady.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they would have set that up without some kind of payoff.
Yeah,
So, I don't know. Just seemed a little out of place to me for them not to be setting it up for later use.
we bit.
But we had Catherine stab Matt, which effectively killed Gregor because it used the Traveler's Dagger. After he revealed his plans to kill her. He said that was his whole point. He was going to be there after defeating Silas. Their next step was to kill Catherine. Why do you think that was? What was Catherine's significance in all that?
I don't know. This would tend to lead more to the theory that her father is still around. Maybe Gregor was her father in different body, hitching a ride. I don't know, but he threw her out. Correct? That's what I remember.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, because she got pregnant out of wedlock or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he's holding a grudge after how many hundreds of years over that. What the hell do I know? But I don't know. They didn't reveal why he wanted to do that. We just knew he wanted to do that.
Right.
Yeah. So hopefully they go into the why because I'm having a tough time thinking of why Gregor would want her dead.
Yeah.
Ex-boyfriend.
I don't know. Seems a little awkward to me. So after killing her, or killing him rather, I should say, he didn't kill Catherine. Catherine killed him. After that, and after revealing his plan to kill Catherine, Nadia kind of got pissed off and stormed off. Why was she so upset?
Maybe she did maybe she did really have a thing for Gregor.
But even so, Gregor just revealed his plan is to kill her mother.
Oh,
How could you be upset at him, or be upset at Catherine, for killing him after that?
not exactly like Catherine was the world's greatest mother.
This is
She's
true.
she's not mother of the millennium here by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, she definitely she even stated in her note in this episode that she was not the best of mothers.
No.
But we see Elena and Catherine. Oops, almost dropped my mouse. We see Elena and Catherine. They're throwing a big party, kind of in celebration that Bonnie's back, and they get interrupted while they're setting up, and Jesse's revealed to have been a vampire. He escaped. He needs Catherine's help. Caroline, rather. How many times did I say Catherine? I got Catherine
think
on
two.
the brain. So Caroline and Elena decide that they're gonna kind of mentor Jesse, in being a vampire. But they why do you think they were so quick to show him all the perks of being a vampire and not the consequences of his power?
Caroline's got a thing for him. First off, he's been missing for how long? He seems distraught and confused, so Caroline was probably like, "Oh, I like this guy. He's now a vampire. Let's, get him unconfused and help him out the best I could." And Elena probably went along with it. All right, my best friend's into this guy, so I'm going to go along with it.
Yeah, could be.
Mm-hmm.
Had a little pop-up come up. Had to get
I
rid
saw.
of it. Yeah. So, what about Elena?
Okay.
After things go wrong, Elena stakes him. What happened to Elena? I thought she was like the everybody stands a chance. Everybody deserves a chance. What?
I think what happened to her is, yeah, everybody deserves a second. Everybody deserves a chance unless you're messing with my man. Then you get no chance.
But what happened to the old Elena? Everyone could be saved.
She got turned into a vampire. I think a little bit of her went out the window. Or maybe it's Damon's influence on her, or she just saw, duh, my man, how was I going to put that? I was going to say my man meat, but that just seems so wrong. But, oh, my man is in trouble. Let me save him. And that was probably all that went through her head at that point. I mean, Damon actually said, he's going to rip my head off.
Yeah. Did you think Jesse was gonna kill him?
Probably. Jesse was in a I need vampire blood rage.
Yeah.
Probably completely blinded by it, really hungry, and here's a source of food. I'm going to kill it and eat it.
He just got back from being locked up in Dr. Westfield's crazy experiments and stuff, and he kind of genetically engineered him to crave vampire blood instead of human blood. So that was interesting. Very interesting.
Also, I think you're pulling an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. trope. You're combining two characters. Well, you're combining his names. His name is Wes Maxfield, not Dr. Westfield.
Max Westfield.
You're pulling a Fitzsimmons.
Wes Maxfield?
Yes.
Max Westfield?
Max Westfield.
Max Westfield.
That's it. For the rest of the series, his name is Max Westfield. I don't care what the comments say. 10 episodes from now, somebody will watch this for the very first time and be like, what the hell's wrong with these people? That's not the character's name.
Wes Maxfield. Max Westfield. Field Wes Max.
Westfield. George. Not George. That doesn't help. Has there been any character named George in this series yet? Just straight out George?
No.
There needs to be now.
No, but I know why she said George.
Yeah.
It was a comment on our Once Upon a Time podcast last week. So
George.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so we got to see a little more of old season 1 Damon this episode. He was his maniacal self. He was injecting the doctor with all kinds of flesh-eating bacterias and rabies and
Ebola.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. What did you think of that whole scene? Were you glad to see Damon back?
I was laughing my ass off because I thought to myself, if I had to torture somebody with... if I could cure any ailment whatsoever at the blink of an eye and I needed to torture somebody, what better way, to use his lovely assorted specimens of horrible, horrible diseases and afflictions.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a little vial that in 24 hours, it'll make you crack and bleed out of every orifice. You'll gain orifices you didn't know you had and bleed out of them.
I don't want to gain any orifices.
I'm talking about like old wounds and stuff splitting back open, but they'd be new holes to bleed from.
So, why do you think after that whole scene, Damon decided he was still going to go through with killing Dr. Max Westfield?
I think he was going to kill Dr. George because, that's it, Dr. George, that's his name. He was going to do that. I don't know, actually.
It was despite Elena's wishes, though. It was something Elena specifically called him and said, "Don't kill him." And after a little while, he goes, "I'm going to kill you anyway."
Probably because he was in kind of a twisted, demented freak. He's going all science experiment on vampires, creating different strains of vampirism.
Yeah. Well, it may have been something to do with the Augustine blood bag that he found. So we don't really know what's going on with that, but we'll get to that in a minute. We got to see a lot of Catherine and Stefan here. We see Catherine helping Stefan through some of his post-traumatic stress disorder from drowning in the safe. Later on in the episode, Catherine, she can't deal with the fact that she's dying, so her response to that is to jump off the clock tower, which
And she can't stand with death by aging, so why
yeah,
not death by fall?
yeah, it seems a little weird, and Stefan ends up catching her before she actually hits the ground, and he says, "Suck it up, you're Catherine Pierce," and she just kind of gets this like little smirk on her face, like, "Yeah, you're right, I am." So, do you think that they're kind of setting up for Catherine and Stefan to get back together?
Probably at this point. I mean, we're already told that the doppelgangers are attracted to each other, so I mean, for Stefan, he can't get Elena, so why not get her devious but identical complete twin self?
And if that does happen, how do you think that's gonna make Elena feel?
Not good. But I mean, realistically, why should she care? She's in love with and, is with Damon.
But we've already
So,
seen she's kind of gotten jealous before. She got jealous when Ketsia kind of hinted at the fact that her and Stefan were sleeping together, and Elena stormed right over there. So now, if Stefan is hooking up with her doppelganger, you don't think that's gonna piss her off too?
oh, definitely. I mean, and Elena, right now in Elena's little imaginary world, it would probably be ideal if monogamous relationships were not a thing.
Hmm.
Like, I have two guys that love me, I have two boyfriends. It's probably something she wouldn't mind right now.
So, Mike has two boyfriends, 2013. Quoting it right there.
What?
That's what you just said.
Oh, I don't. I have a wife.
You said, and I quote, and I have two boyfriends.
I think a fork to my brain right about now. Honey, apparently I have two boyfriends. I know, I didn't know that either. This is a surprise to me.
Speaking of monogamous relationships, Jeremy kind of learned of Bonnie's situation with feeling the pain of every supernatural being that died. Even at some of the more inappropriate times, which is kind of why I was joking with the monogamous relationship. What do you think Jeremy's gonna possibly do to, quote unquote, save Bonnie?
I don't know. He's gonna probably look for some, witchy spell-like thing to help Bonnie out of her predicament that also won't kill her. Because I mean, they're doing the nasty, and all of a sudden, oh my God, Jesse's dead, and Jeremy's looking around like there's nobody here, but Bonnie is seeing another guy standing there while she's, with her man. So
Right.
that's a little awkward.
Yeah, it comes at some very interesting times, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you finally got to see her in pain. You got to see what that felt like. So, I don't know if they stop it. She's got to stop being the anchor. That's really the only way I could see for them to actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
And if she stops being the anchor, she's no longer alive. So, well, more she can't exist in both planes at the same time. But since she was dead, I would assume she goes back to being dead.
Probably.
So, I don't know. I don't even have a guess as to how they're going to work this out.
I got nothing. I really got nothing.
So they're going to have to pull some tricks out and surprise us.
Oh, they'll pull some kind of, combination witch thing with this thing, and then they'll replace this with that person and sacrifice this person and bind it to a stone, and
Are we living in season 2 again?
probably.
Jenna was a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Bound to the moonstone.
She was a vampire. That was it. Klaus turned her into a vampire, then killed her because he needed basically he needed a vampire to kill.
Is that witch, vampire, doppelganger? Yeah, you're right.
Or he needed like a freshly turned vampire or something like that. I forget the details, but he did turn Jenna into a vampire right before killing her.
Oh no, it was a werewolf, right? Was it a werewolf? A
No,
witch? A werewolf, a vampire, and a doppelganger? Is that what it was?
I forgot what it was, but he needed it to break his mother's curse or whatever on him so he can, be an actual hybrid and not just a vampire.
Right. But I don't remember what the 3 conditions were now.
No, I forgot.
Both 2 weren't vampires, so I don't remember now. But yeah, anyway, back to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, like we were just talking about in Dr. Max Westfield. I don't remember what his name really is anymore. What is the real name?
Wes Maxfield.
Dr. Wes Maxfield. All right.
Yes.
So, so George, and
so George,
we learned that Damon was an Augustine vampire 60 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So at the very end of the episode, he's locked in the same cell that he was put in 60 years ago. So what do you think? Do you think Damon was a failed Augustine test subject?
Well, definitely failed, yeah.
Or do you think maybe he craved vampire blood at some point?
I don't know. At this point, Damon was already a vampire, so I'm going to go with he was a failed subject that they tested on. Possibly this could be the work that Elena's daddy did.
Could be, because we do know he was part of the Augustine Council.
Mm-hmm.
We also know he was part of the Mystic Falls Council. He's the only member that transcended both. So he probably started the Mystic Falls Council.
Possibly.
But
no, I think they've had that around for a longer time than he was alive.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
But
yeah, you're right.
Damon was definitely probably a failed.
Maybe he started the Augustine one. No.
Maybe.
No, that couldn't be, because Damon...
I don't know. Man dead.
Yeah, no.
Damon.
Elena's father was not 60 years old, so never mind. Forget that.
So Damon's deal is... Yeah, he was a failed test subject because George started from scratch. Jesse was still a human with vampire blood in the system, so he was like, oh, perfect candidate. I could start from scratch with this one. I'm going to kill you by lethal injection.
Yeah.
Have a nice afterlife, what little of it you're going to have.
Yeah. So, we know where Damon was in the 1950s. He was in New Orleans, trying to ditch Charlotte, who was sired to him.
In the 40s. We don't know where he was in the 50s.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yes. Sorry, 1940s. Then in the 1970s, hold on, 1940s, and then he's having the conversation with Damon, he is Damon, having the conversation with Stefan and Lexi, where he's going to go join Stefan in his call to arms for World War I. Lexi kind of talks him out of it, saying that Stefan just kind of came off the Ripper Bend, and Damon would probably be a bad influence at this point. He needs to let Stefan breathe a little bit and not follow him. So we don't know what happened with Damon between that time and the 1970s. That's the next flashback we get to see. So in the 1970s, Damon... He's living in New York City. His human emotions are 100% turned off at this point. Mm-hmm. Lexi comes and she's trying to convince him to turn them back on and try and become a non-killer vampire. Basically the same thing she did for Stefan. So Damon kind of tricks her into falling for him, and then leaves her off up on a roof somewhere. My question is, do you think that the reason why his emotions were flipped off in that point, do you think that has a direct result of whatever happened in the what is it, 50s? For
Probably.
The Augustine vampires? Like, what do you think happened?
It's very possible that... I have no idea what happened. I can't even begin to speculate at this, but I'm going to say that it was probably a direct result of all this junk happening that he did switch his emotions off. Maybe he was tortured. Who knows? Excuse me.
You saw very quick flashes while he was locked in the cell, and it looked like he was on an operating table of some sort, and it looked like he was bleeding out of his eyes, like they were operating directly into his eyes.
Fun.
Yeah. So
They're trying to figure out how compulsion worked.
could be, very very well could be. So I don't know. Then he just kind of looks around in the cell that he's in, and that's when he sees his name, Damon Salvatore, 1950, whatever was etched in there,
Mm-hmm.
or DS, Damon Salvatore. That's what it was. So, yeah, definitely something crazy's going on there. So, do you think he's gonna be kind of open about this information now at this point? Do you think he's gonna tell Stefan and tell Elena and whoever may or may not know?
Probably.
Yeah.
He'll spill his guts to Elena, probably.
It seems logical. All right, so we have our next episode is called The Cell, which very very appropriate. It's the only thing it could possibly be referring to as the cell that Damon is locked in right now.
Mm-hmm.
It says Stefan continues to offer Catherine his support while trying to mask his own pain.
Oh.
So he's still dealing with the post-traumatic stress disorder. Actually, I want to go into that for a second. Don't you think that was kind of morbid? That Catherine was like in the middle of his post-traumatic stress flashbacks. She's just like, name the people you've killed. What are their names? Like, do you find that a little morbid?
Yeah, but I guess that was the only way she could think of to make him regain control.
Yeah. I don't know. It seemed very morbid to me.
Kinda, yeah.
Let's see. Masking his own pain. Until Caroline shows up with an unusual form of therapy. What do you think that could be?
I don't know. An unusual form of therapy. Who knows? Maybe she brought him a baby seal to club to death.
Vervain?
Ooh, maybe.
Maybe
Vervain.
drain him of his blood? I don't know. Vervain seems interesting.
That would be interesting, yeah.
Yep. After trying to make amends with Caroline, Elena grows so concerned about Damon that she turns to Aaron for help.
Aaron, I don't. Is Aaron hip to all the vampire stuff? Is he gonna know how to help?
No, he's either the best liar in the world or he's just completely clueless. One of the two.
It's definitely, yeah.
Like, what is the deal? Like, it almost seems like, what is Elena's obsession with him in the first place?
I think he reminds her of her because his parents are dead and he has a legal guardian who's who's a teacher.
Right.
I mean, the parallels between him and Alaric are, a lot of them.
Yeah.
So,
I guess I could kind of see that. She just seems like unnaturally obsessed with him for some reason. She wants him to come to the parties, and
maybe she wants to eat him. I don't know.
I don't know. It's really weird. 'Cause, I mean, she's got Damon. She shouldn't be interested in other guys.
For food, I mean.
Yeah. No.
But I don't know.
Later, when Damon tells Elena about a terrible ordeal in his past that he has kept a secret for decades, she shares the disturbing information that she just learned about her own family.
Oh.
So
She'll probably find out that Elena's daddy was crazy experimenting on vampire guy, just like Dr. Wes Maxfield. No, I can't remember his name.
Yes. Yeah, so there it is. Damon is definitely going to share that information with her. So he gets out of the cell. We know that much. We know he's not going to be trapped in there forever. He gets out.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently Elena's going to find out some more nice information too. Then it says, finally, Aaron decides on a desperate course of action after a conversation with Dr. Wes. So, like I said before, he's either the best liar or he's completely clueless, and he's just being clued in now.
That's probably something. He's probably getting clued in now.
Could be. Could be. Yeah, any final thoughts?
No. Thought about it. I thought about having thoughts, and I had no thoughts, so I stopped thinking about it.
Yeah, that would seem like a good thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about thoughts about not having thoughts.
Yep.
Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. That was my thought.
Sagging. I hate you. Yeah.
Oh,
Say, if I get electrocuted doing this, I'm going to blame you personally. There.
Mike, where can the people find you?
Crawling under the Christmas tree in 5 seconds to turn it back off. Where they can find me. But on the internet, they can find me on Twitter at Philodran, THILLADRAN.
You can find me on Twitter at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. And you can find us all on Facebook.com and YouTube.com/ASOTV podcast for some more of your favorites, for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows.
That. And movies.
Yes.
There's one up now. There'll be more soon.
Indeed.
Soon.
So until next week, see you guys later.
Later.
Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas
It's not even
tree.
Thanksgiving yet.
Yeah, you're the one that put the tree up.